The bitter cold air has settled in across the inland northwest, and it's going to be sticking around right into the new year.
With the coldest weather of the year coming our way, that means dangerous conditions for anyone outside. What you need to know to keep you and your home safe. The Sun Bowl is in jeopardy. Just as the Cougs land in El Paso for the Sun Bowl, their opponent pulls out of the game. Who will play WSU next? Cold temperatures and Arctic air have arrived here in the inland northwest. High temperatures will only be warming into the single digits and low teens. With the extreme cold, frostbite and hypothermia will occur much faster. We'll tell you what you need to know to keep you, your pets, and your home safe. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Tom Sherry. Mark and Whitney are off this evening. The cold weather has local plumbers bracing for a surge of calls. Water pipes that aren't maintained can freeze and burst. That's messy and it is expensive. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk explains what you need to watch for and how to protect your home.
Plumbers tell us if your pipes do freeze, you'll notice a dramatic drop in pressure in your sink or shower, and in some cases, you won't have any running water at all. Water. We can't live without it, but it can cause major problems in your home.
I mean, I've seen it upwards of $40,000, $50,000, $60,000 worth of damage.
Chris Allen is a plumber at Bulldog Rooter. Today, their phones kept ringing.
Okay, I'd be happy to help you with that. Could I put you on hold again for a moment?
Allen and his crew are expecting more calls in the coming days for frozen pipes and ones that have burst.
If the basement is finished, you don't know what's going on until the damage is done. It ruins the sheetrock, the framing, the flooring, grandma's piano. Anything that's down in that area is going to be ruined.
That's why prevention is so important. Allen says the first thing you should do is disconnect any outdoor hoses and insulate the faucet. You can find those covers at any hardware store. For pipes inside your home, open up sink cabinets and let heat circulate, and consider leaving a trickle of water running from the faucet highest in the house. That trickle should be a small, steady stream. Everyone in your home should know where the main water shutoff valve is. If you notice any problems, call a plumber before it gets worse. In some cases, you'll be able to clear a frozen pipe yourself, but never use an open flame. Consider using a hairdryer or electric heater. And Bulldog Rooter told us even though they are busy, they have enough staff on hand to respond to emergency calls the same day. Reporting in Spokane, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
We mentioned earlier that the highs today were only going to be in the single digits and low teens. And with the sun down, we can expect even colder temperatures in the overnight hours. Here's meteorologist Michelle Boss joining us now. Michelle, tell us how cold it's going to get tonight.
I think we'll get down into the single digits tonight. Really, the only saving grace tonight is that we're still going to have a little cloud cover. When that disappears, it looks like that's going to happen Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. We'll see even colder overnight lows, potentially below zero. But for now, we're looking at satellite and radar, and we've got a lot of cloud cover across eastern Washington and North Idaho, a little bit of clearing out in the central part of the state, but just a few flurries out there. We're really switching our focus from the snow that we saw over the weekend to the bitter cold temperatures. Currently sitting in the teens right now in Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, and down across the Palouse, but even colder out in central Washington, 0 in Omak, 9 in Moses Lake, and 8 in Ritzville. And to make it feel even worse, we have a little bit of a breeze out there. Fortunately, nothing strong, but even just a small breeze makes those wind chills feel even colder. 18 below in Omak, 2 below in Wenatchee, below 0 in Moses Lake and Kettle Falls, and feels like it's 0 degrees right now in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene because of the wind. We're going to keep the cloudy skies tonight. Again, that will keep our temperatures, I think, from getting any colder than, say, the single digits, but looking for clearing skies Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. That means a low of 0 or below. Sunshine is not going to make it feel any warmer Wednesday afternoon, the high 10, and snow showers return to the area on Thursday with a high of 17.
Well, the city of Spokane has opened a warming center in downtown. They opened it yesterday. Along with food and blankets, there are more than 100 mats for people needing a place to sleep overnight. One of the most vulnerable groups of people during this dangerously cold Arctic freeze are people who are experiencing housing insecurity. The Spokane fire chief says when the city saw this cold air coming, they knew they had to do something for those without a place to go.
That environment is unsustainable for life. We know that we lose people when they try to weather this out. So it's important for us to make contact with them and offer them a safer option. Our crews will be going out and making contact with these people in the areas where we know they are staying or where they typically stay, and then offering the shelter.
The city is taking donations for the warming center. They say the most requested items are socks and, of course, other winter clothing. Those can be dropped off at the Cannon Street Shelter. The warming center will be open through January 2nd for anyone who needs a warm place to stay. Well, we're not only seeing the cold temperatures, heavy snowfall blanketed the west side of Washington State yesterday, and pockets of cold air is keeping temperatures well below freezing. The wintry conditions even canceled some garbage collection across the Puget Sound region. It was just a mess there. As of this morning, Washington State Patrol has responded to over 180 crashes in King County alone. And guess what? More snow is coming their way. Coming up at 6 o'clock tonight, we'll see how crews there are ready for the next wave of snow expected in King County. And taking a live look at Snoqualmie Pass, where it was 6 degrees earlier this afternoon. It got so cold that their pass camera actually froze, and then they had to go and thaw it out. That pass so far has picked up 44 inches of new snow since Christmas Eve. Conditions, though, are expected to be mostly dry through Thursday, but temperatures are still going to remain very, very cold. So, of course, watch out for black ice. Well, we know that a lot of people may be gearing up to head home for the holiday weekend. If you'd like a live traffic map of the conditions, you can text us the word traffic to 509-448-2000. We'll send a link right to your phone. And breaking news, the Sun Bowl has now found a new opponent for the Cougars to play on Friday. Yesterday, the Miami Hurricanes announced that they would not be playing in the Sun Bowl against WSU's Cougars. That happened just hours after the Cougs actually landed in El Paso to get ready for the game. Brenna Green here, sports director, joining us live to tell us what we know right now.
It's not official that Central Michigan is in this game yet. However, literally just minutes ago, there is a report online that it's going to happen. Want to wait for a few more people to come out and report it before we say that it's actually happening and we get an official statement. But looks like things are moving down the road here. Earlier today, WSU practice in El Paso, still hoping for an opponent. Right after media availability, it broke that Boise State is unable to play in the Arizona Bowl because of a COVID outbreak in the program. That then cleared the way for Central Michigan, who was supposed to take on Boise State in the Arizona Bowl to play in the Sun Bowl. However, we're still waiting on those details to be ironed out, like I said, although I would be shocked if this doesn't happen. Central Michigan is only a 4-hour drive away from El Paso and Tucson, so there are no logistics problems. One of the big reasons why Central Michigan would make the move from the Arizona Bowl to the Sun Bowl is because the payout much bigger for the Sun Bowl. The bowl game gets paid $4.3 million in TV money by CBS. Meanwhile, the Arizona Bowl only makes $350,000 and is only streamed on YouTube TV. Of course, something that is holding this up is that the Arizona Bowl wants a cut of the pie if they let Central Michigan go. Earlier today, media on the ground caught up with WSU in El Paso. The team's enthusiasm to play was still through the roof.
This group has been through a lot, you know, with a coaching change in the middle of the season and how tight our group is really bonded together. There's no challenge that we feel like we can't overcome. They just want to be together, right? And when I told them this morning, you know, we don't know what's going to happen, but let's go out there and work, they started celebrating. You know, they want to be out here together, and that's why we're fighting to hopefully keep this season going.
We've been through a lot, and, you know, I'm trying not to get emotional, but it's been a crazy season. You know, we would like to finish it with you know, playing the game. So.
Right, we now have another report, actually two reports from national media members. Brett McMurphy with Stadium. I'm looking on my phone here to make sure this is all right here. Brett McMurphy with Stadium and Ross Dellinger with Sports Illustrated, both reporting that a deal is in place now. This game is going to happen between WSU and Central Michigan.
That was a close one.
Well, you know.
And what happens to the fans of the Arizona game? You know, that bowl. Are they going to get anybody?
No, that bowl game is
Whitman
done
and Lind. Let's have them go down there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
if you're a Central Michigan fan, you can get in the car and go to El Paso too. So at least there is some sort of, way that you can get to this bowl game instead of them being on opposite ends of the country and having that fiasco as well.
Wow, I tell you. Well, thank you, Brent. I know you've been running this afternoon following this story. We sure appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. In the meantime, since we know that if WSU plays in the Sun Bowl, they will definitely play Central Michigan. And, well, actually, what we're going to tell you is we want you to keep it right here on KREM 2 for the latest on the Cougs and the Sun Bowl. By the way, if the Sun Bowl is played, and Brenna says now she thinks it's going to be played, it will be played right here on KREM 2 on Friday morning at 9 a.m., and we'll be sure to bring you the very, very latest.
By the way, just a few things about Central Michigan. That's Rob Akey. Yeah, Rob Akey is the defensive coordinator at Central Michigan right now, and he used to be the head coach at Idaho and also the defensive coordinator at WSU, a few other things. Jim McElwain right there, he is the head coach of Central Michigan. He, of course, was the head coach of Colorado State when they had that comeback against WSU in the New Mexico Bowl in 2013. I don't think I need to say anything more about that. If you are a WSU fan, just a few facts about Central Michigan. They finished 8-4 this year. And they finished second in the MAC, in their MAC West. So we're going to keep diving in on this team as things play out to help you get to know more about this Central Michigan squad. We'll have more tonight at 6 o'clock about them as well.
Well done, Brenna. Thank you very, very much. All right.